It was 1984 that I worked on my first movie, and I've worked in the creative industries for the last 35 years, first in film and television and then in digital media, new media. My immediate family are actors, musicians, and artists, so this area resonates with me entirely. But I also recognize that we live within 115 square kilometers from Boundary Road to Blanca, and that this city is supported through primarily through property taxes on its citizens. And so I'm very concerned when I see scope creep happening. Now, I understand the city is responsible for the nuts and bolts. It's the roads and sewers, and it's the land. And so to the extent that this plan contemplates the use of the city's land, I am supportive. But to the extent to which I'm seeing scope creep and increased headcount and new capital expenditures, I am not supportive. I understand everybody wants there to be unlimited funds. Everybody wants there to be more grant money and more subsidies. But in my years in film and television, for example, I look to the federal government for funding, through telefilm, for example. I look to Creative BC and for film tax credits. But when it comes to the city, I would look, again, for things like facilities and permits and assistance in that regard. But I am extremely concerned about, again, the scope creep that is happening here in adding new areas that, in my view, fall outside the purview of local government. So I have very mixed feelings about this. I'm supportive of the creative industries. I live, eat, and breathe it. But I also am very mindful as someone that's been elected to represent the inhabitants of this city, that we have to live within our means. I often like to say, if I'm working on a film and I come in under budget, I can reallocate that contingency to spend things on other things that are elective. If I come in on budget, good for me. But if I come in over budget, I can't go back to the well and continuously ask for more money. And that is my concern here, that we are continuing to ask for more and more money on things that fall outside the scope of local government. And so I wanted to go on the record of saying this, and this is coloring my vote, and I wanted you to, again, understand where I'm coming from, having lived and worked here in my entire career in the creative industries.